Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to another special episode of Dick Rogers' Space Detective. Captaining this ship is none other than myself, Joanna Hemlock. Joining me today is my usual co-host, Eleanor Barclay, on navigation.
Hey.
And our reliable chief of engineering, Mike Nutley.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain.
And today, dear listeners, we've got ourselves a real holy grail of media. Eleanor?
Uh-huh?
You know we started the podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm watching this bid for an original animation cell, and this guy keeps outbidding me.
Animation cell for what?
The Rescuers. You know that old Disney movie? Well, back in the day, a few bored artists snuck some nudity into a background for a single frame. Something that would have been unnoticeable in the old analog format, but when the HD era came around, it caused quite a stir.
And that's what you've been bidding on?
Yes! That one background frame is like the holy grail of cell collectors. If this listing is legit, it could go for millions.
And how much have you bid on it already?
You don't want to know. But if I win this, it won't matter.
Anyway, we have an incredibly special episode of Dick Rogers today because we have been sent a package by none other than Stav Jehoda.
Who?
Stav Jehoda is a producing and marketing mogul. Most of his major work is from the 70s to the 90s. He had hands in some of the most major television successes, including Transformers, G.I. Joe, the 90s X-Men show, the list goes on.
Oh, did it turn out that he had the rights to Dick Rogers all along and he's finally sending us a cease and desist?
No, we made sure to secure the rights before the podcast started officially.
It was very cheap.
So what was in the package?
Inside the package was documentation, storyboards, even action figure mock-ups, and a script for a never-made Dick Rogers reboot.
No!
Yes! He even included a letter, which I'll read now. Dear Joanna and crew, my name is Stav Jehoda. There's a high chance you've heard of my work more than you've heard of me. But I'm writing to tell you I've been amused by your podcast since the first episode. It reminded me of an old project that never saw the light of day. Back in 1990, the rights to Dick Rogers were picked up alongside a collection of other product rights. Going over old materials, I developed an infatuation for what I called the little radio show that could. And I wanted to see if I could make this little unknown star a bright one on Saturday mornings. Unfortunately, we never could find the proper funding for the project, and it never came to be. Included is all the documents from the project that I could find in storage. Hopefully, it makes for a good episode. The script was a first draft, so be nice. Happiness to you and yours, Stav.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Very. So, for today's episode, we did the work of adapting the included script to fit our usual format, since it was an animation script. We tried our best to keep things as close to the original as possible. We also added advertisements that would have been appropriate for the time. So, sit back, grab the purple stuff from the fridge, and get your pogs ready for Dick Rogers' Space Detective, The Origin.
Dang it! Somebody outbid me again! Curse you, heckin' Kitties 99!
Yeah, sorry?
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
Mike!
Rolling the episode.
Space. Never has there been a place more mysterious and dangerous. A place that needs a hero. One that can truly be called a space detective. These are the tales of the exciting life and times of the greatest hero of them all, Dick Rogers. Our story begins on a familiar planet, Earth, in the far future year of 2001. Our hero-to-be stands on a lone hill, gazing at the stars through a telescope. He's approached by a girl, Symphony Adams.
I thought I'd find you here, Dick.
Well, Symphony, I was hoping we'd get a chance for one last meeting of the Stargazers Mystery Club. Guess everyone was too busy.
Well, we all just graduated today. Everyone's busy celebrating with their families. Everyone has their futures to think about.
Yeah, about that.
You didn't get in, did you, to Kepler?
Just got the rejection letter today.
I'm sorry, Dick. You at least have your backup school, right?
No, there wasn't a backup school. No one else has the same programs.
I mean, there are probably other options out there. I know you probably don't want to go home right now, but we're having my graduation party at my place if you want to come by.
Maybe in a bit. Alpha Centauri isn't in this good a position very often. I don't want to miss it.
All right, I'll see you later then.
See you later.
Minutes became hours. Dick and his telescope remained on that hill, heads in the stars. The world around him may not have existed.
I don't need some fancy degree to be an astrologer. I can do it all on my own. That's weird. That star wasn't there before. I might be the first to discover it. This is what I'm talking about.
That light in the sky was no star, but something falling from the sky headed right for Dick.
Whoa!
Dick dodged the unidentified object by just a hair as it sailed past him and crashed at the bottom of the hill. Dick, curious but excited, rushed to investigate.
Some kind of meteor? A fallen satellite?
It was none of those things. The object was large, sharp and angular, but smooth, as if it were made of obsidian glass.
This is amazing. There's no telling what kind of undiscovered elements this thing contains. This is a breakthrough for modern science.
But as Dick approached, a panel on the object opened, and a man stepped out. He wore an unusual outfit, and he was wounded.
Thank the stars, I've found you.
Who are you? What is this thing?
There's no time. Please, kid, take my hand. The fate of the universe relies on it.
But
The mystery man grabbed Dick's hand. Dick's mind was flooded with information and imagery he didn't understand. It was a second that felt like hours, and when it was over, Dick felt dizzy.
It was you. It was always you.
Hey, hold on. I can get help.
But it was too late. The man was gone, as if he never existed. Dick was shocked, confused, and unsure what to do, but he peered into the object the man had stepped out of. No, not an object. Something in his mind told him this was a ship, a starship meant to traverse space and time.
How do I know this?
Curious for more answers, Dick stepped further in and quickly found his way to the cockpit. He sat in the pilot's seat, the ship's controls in front of him. They felt comfortable in his hands as he touched them. Like a second nature, he knew how to activate the ship. Before he could even think to stop himself, Dick was flipping switches and pressing buttons required to start the ship's engine, driven by a need for answers to this mystery. But as the ship came to life, hovering above where it crashed, Dick paused.
What am I doing? This is crazy. But who else can say they've been able to do this? I could just take it out for a spin and come right back. What could possibly go wrong?
Dick turned the ship skyward, and in an instant, it sped off into the sky. In mere seconds, Dick was beyond Earth's atmosphere and sailing past the moon.
This is so rad! There's so many things we could learn from this.
But as Dick was amazed by the sights around him, the ship kept sailing. It picked up speed and a message was displayed across the screen.
Appropriate speed reached. Time slip initiated.
Wait, what? No.
Frantically, Dick pressed every button he could find, flipped every switch as he tried to cancel the sequence. But it was too late, as the lights of the stars began to bend around him. The slip was seamless, but soon Dick found himself right in the middle of some kind of space battle. Ships all around him firing at each other, ducking, dodging, and maneuvering.
Combat initiated. Activating weapons.
Combat? No way! I've never even been in a fight before. I don't even know whose side I'm supposed to be on.
Highlighting enemy fighters.
The screen in front of Dick lit up, marking his supposed enemies. Dick wanted to resist, but those fighters started to notice him, and they weren't holding back as multiple shots rocked the ship.
Damage sustained. Take evasive maneuvers.
I know that.
Dick came to a realization. Survive this encounter or die. His hands found the controls, and suddenly, he was dodging shots and maneuvering the ship like a pro, as if he had spent his entire life doing it. He could dive, spin, and return fire like a true ace pilot. The battle did not last long as Dick and his sudden allies pushed back the wave of fighter ships. Once the last one was gone, a voice came in on the ship's speakers.
Thank the stars you came back, Captain. I thought we lost you.
Sorry, who?
Are you okay, Captain? Something go wrong with the time slip?
Maybe you regressed in age again. Hopefully you didn't have to go through puberty a third time, dude.
No, I think you have me confused for someone else. My name is Dick Rogers. This ship just crashed before me and, I don't know, now I'm here. Who are you people? What's going on?
Confirmed. Bioscans not matched.
We can talk about this back at the Holloway. You handled that ship like the captain. You should be able to follow us back.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Dick followed the lead of the remaining ships as they led him back to a massive flagship. Again, as if he'd done this a million times before, Dick docked his own ship in the hangar and disengaged the engine. His heart raced as he thought of what he should do next. Disembark the ship and meet these new people? That made the most sense. But he couldn't bring himself to move. Frozen in place as the experience washed over him. He had just left Earth and gone to space. Took part in some kind of space battle against an enemy he didn't even know. His thoughts were interrupted when... Stealing his nerves, Dick climbed from the cockpit, found the exit hatch, and opened it. Before him, there were 3 beings. Naturally, Dick did the only sensible thing.
Everybody calm down.
The first was what he could only describe as alien, purple skin with large black eyes and antennae.
Let's all just introduce ourselves like civilized beings. I'm N.E.R.D. Ungaretti, pilot of the 7th Star and commander of the 43rd Squadron for the Galactic Interstellar Forces.
The second was a giant snail.
Sup? Guess that means it's my turn. You can call me Coffee Riva, but my bros call me K-Rock. The heavy metal is my baby.
And third, a massive robot, looking as if it were designed for only one thing, to kill. Designation D-41D6, ship assignment 814375483-B.
We call him DD for short.
Only close associates may do so. You have not earned this right.
Don't mind them. They're just salty because the robots lost the human extinction war. Ugh. Remind me not to mention salt around myself. It gives me the giblies.
Do not mention salt around Kofi.
Knock it off, DD.
And you are?
My name's Dick Rogers. I don't know how I got here. I was on my home planet and this ship just crashed in front of me.
And the captain?
Yeah, this guy came out. I didn't get his name. He was hurt. I tried to help, but he took my hand and did something. Suddenly I knew how to pilot the ship. I'm sorry. He just disappeared after that.
I was afraid you'd say that. It means he made the transfer. He's dead. Coffee, please keep an eye on our guest. We'll have to let the general and the other GIF commanders know.
N.E.R.D. departed, leaving Dick with a giant snail and a killer robot.
She and the captain were close, you know?
Truly, this is a tragedy. The captain was the only human I liked.
We're all gonna miss him, DD. But if he made the transfer, then not all hope is lost. But we'll have to see. Oh, sorry, dude. You're probably super confused. Come on, I'll show you the mess hall. You're probably starving after all that. I know I am. You coming, DD?
I require a battery recharge. Output is only at 12%.
All right, that cracks. Just me and the new guy, then.
Coffee led Dick through the ship, among aliens and robots he'd never even imagined before. He was brought to a large room full of tables. Large devices lined the walls that seemed to deposit food upon request.
All right, dude, so what's the grind?
Huh?
What do you want, my bro? These matter vendors can make you just about anything you can think of.
I suppose I could go for a milkshake.
Never heard of it, but you can give it a shot.
Dick approached the device. The strange symbols across the machine somehow made sense to him. Within a few button presses, a cup was dispensed.
Frozen ugly and grack juice. Bold, my dude.
Dick tasted the liquid in the cup. It was close to the idea of a milkshake, yet way off. But it would have to do, as Coffee showed them to a table.
So, how come I can read everything here?
Well, see, that guy you met was Captain Galactic. He was like a superhero and a super soldier and a force of nature all rolled into one. Dude was totes the best. But there was another title he went by. Space Detective. Before the war, that was his primary gig, solving mysteries and stuff. He was also our key to fighting the Chronids.
And who are they?
Cronids are a species that exists beyond time. Like, they experience all of it, all at once. Unlike one bit at a time like us. They've seen, are seeing, and will see the birth and death of the universe all at once. They're trying to stop the flow of time entirely. In their eyes, they're saving the universe from inevitable destruction.
But that would cease all perception, all experiences altogether.
Indeed, you are a smart dude. I definitely didn't get it all right away. But not all Cronids agreed with the plan. Unfortunately, those that didn't were all captured by their leader, Cronid Prime. Well, except for one. They came to us with a secret to the Cronids' power. The ability to perceive all time. Problem is, they could only grant this power to one person. They did so by transferring their self into Captain Galactic, who's now transferred it to you.
But I'm still perceiving time linearly. Is it like a power I have to turn on?
I think so. The captain tried to explain it once, but I didn't really understand. But what I think I understand is the transfer grants the recipient all of the previous person's knowledge and memories. It's probably why you could fly Chrono Trigger so well. Well, that's the captain's ship. Reverse engineered from Cronid tech. It's what allows it to slip through time. The captain was the only person who could pilot it because he had Cronid powers.
So you're telling me that now this key to saving the universe is inside me? This power I don't even know how to use?
Yeah, it totally morbs. I wouldn't want to put that pressure on anybody.
But can I give it to someone else? Like the captain gave it to me?
Maybe? I never really understood the whole thing.
Dick Rogers, please report to the bridge. Dick Rogers, please report to the bridge.
Well, that's the call to adventure, my dude. Where things go from here is up to you.
Will Dick answer that call? Will he be able to get home? Find out after a message from our sponsors.
Man, it's so hot out, and this soccer tournament isn't ending anytime soon.
I know what we can do.
Yo, what's up?
Shiny!
Got the stuff?
You know it, broski. My Shiny C is full of vitamins and real fruit flavors. Perfect to keep you hydrated all day long.
Thanks, Shiny!
Anytime, my dudes and dudettes.
You kids ready for the next game?
We can do this all day thanks to Shiny!
Don't thank me, thank Shiny C.
Yeah!
We now return to Dick Rogers, Space Detective. Dick was brought to the bridge of the Holloway, where N.E.R.D.S and the ship's captain were waiting for them.
You must be Dick. I'm Captain Grey Sacks. N.E.R.D.S has given me the details about what happened to Captain Galactic. Tragic, really. I don't mean to pressure you, son, but we have to get on with figuring out his replacement.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a starfighter. I'm an astrologer. I look at things from a distance. I don't get involved, but if I can give this to someone else, I'll gladly do it.
That's the problem. The way the transfer works, it transfers everything. If you choose to do so, you'll die. That's why it's usually only considered as a last resort.
So you mean...
You have 24 hours to decide. I'm sorry, but we can't wait much longer than that. You carry a necessary tool to winning this conflict. We'll be launching our final assault tomorrow.
I'm sorry, son. This isn't something I'd wish on anyone.
I need to think about this.
Of course. Take your time.
Dick was shocked, awash with emotions as he walked the corridors of the ship. He did not know where he was going, but let the vague familiarity of Captain Galactic's memories guide him. He ended up in what those memories told him were a pilot training facility. Large mechanical simulators lined the room. Before he could think, Dick found himself climbing into one.
It's like a big video game. Shouldn't be too bad.
Like second nature, Dick took the controls in hand. He activated the machine, and it came to life with detailed holograms, nearly impossible to tell from the real thing. Immediately, Dick took action, his maneuvers expertly executed. The memories of previous battles flowed into his mind, remembering training he'd never been to, hours spent in this simulator. Time passed him by without his notice, until there was a knock on the side of the simulator. Dick powered the machine down and opened the hatch.
I had a feeling I'd find you here. The captain always came here when he wanted to clear his head.
Yeah, I can see why.
He never really explained what it's like to see someone else's memories.
It's hard to describe. It just kind of happens. You start having memories you know aren't yours. And then there's the whole time perception thing. Maybe because people weren't meant to see time this way, but I just know things. Like, when I'm in the ship, I know when shots are gonna come, when enemy ships are going to be in my sights. Or I know things that I've never been there for. I know DD was constructed just under 8 galactic cycles ago. I also know they've never told anyone that.
Yeah, DD isn't exactly a sharer. I mainly came down to apologize for the pressure put on you. When Jim took it on, he did so willingly. You didn't get that option.
It was an emergency situation. I'm sure he... Wait.
What?
When he transferred his power to me, he said something. It was always you.
Why would he say that?
He saw the future. He knew. Because I know what he saw. And it was me. I was always supposed to come here. It was always me.
So, does that mean you'll stay?
I think it means I already did.
There's one more thing I have to tell you. They didn't want to inform you, but it's only fair. If you stay, and if we win this fight, you'll lose your N.E.R.D. powers, and the ability to time slip will go with it. You won't be able to go home.
I know. To be honest, I didn't really have a lot to go back to. But I also know that if I'm stuck in this time, I'll be removed from my previous one. It'll be like I never existed.
We don't know that for sure. We've never seen something like that happen, but that is the theory.
I essentially took Captain Galactic's place in the time stream when he transferred to me.
That can't be good.
They brought the fight to us. Looks like they didn't want to wait.
All fighters to battle stations. All fighters to battle stations. Prepare for combat. We are under N.E.R.D. attack.
Dick and Nilda rushed to the hangar, boarding their respective ships.
Dude, these guys just picked the worst time to pull this. I was right in the middle of my daily nacho grind.
Charge insufficient. Energy output at 69%.
Nice.
Cut the chatter. We're launching in 3, 2, 1, launch!
With the press of a button, the 4 ships accelerated out into space. Before them was a massive armada of N.E.R.D. ships, as well as their flagship, N.E.R.D. Prime.
Monotime beings, you have put up this pointless fight for much too long. Know we are doing this for your own good, for the good of all beings. Surrender now. You will receive no further warnings.
Dick tightly gripped the controls of his ship. This was the final battle of what would be known as the N.E.R.D. War. It was now or never. Save the universe and all of time, or time itself ceases to exist. Can he do it? Will N.E.R.D. Prime get their dastardly way? Find out this and more after these messages.
This summer, you'll never believe your eyes. You'll never believe your ears. The movie you won't want to miss. Jack Jacobson is the Exterminator.
They think they can kidnap the president with their army of robots from the future? I'll show them what happens when you mess with America.
Coming this summer. Don't miss it.
We rejoin Dick and company as N.E.R.D. Prime gives them one last ultimatum. Suddenly, Dick gets a feeling.
Everybody move, now!
Dick and his squadron are just moments away from suddenly being hit by a massive beam from the N.E.R.D. Prime ship.
That slimy jerk!
Dude thought he could hit us while we were distracted.
Unforgivable. Must destroy.
Try not to stay in one place for too long. That gun is big, but it's slow and it takes a while to aim.
Oh, sounds like somebody found their adventure spirit.
The 4 entered the fray, clearing out any enemies in their path as they maneuvered the battlefield, avoiding shots from N.E.R.D.S Prime's massive cannon.
If we want to destroy that thing, we've got to get inside it.
Phrasing, dude.
Scan complete. Sending data. A holographic image appeared on Dick's screen. The N.E.R.D Prime ship.
This thing is sealed tight. It doesn't even have exhaust or waste ports.
Those ships gotta be coming from somewhere.
Deployment hatches will likely remain closed for the duration of the battle. But I have an idea. The N.E.R.D Prime ship is still moving. If I can slip out of the time stream long enough for it to move into place, I can reappear inside the ship.
If you jump without a destination, you could fry the system.
Trust me. Cover me. I'm going in.
Affirmative. Dick accelerates forward, heading straight for the enemy flagship, supported by his squad mates. As the hull of the ship draws near, Dick's hand reaches for the time slip control, and just as he's about to collide with the N.E.R.D Prime ship, he disappears. Dick slips out of the time stream as we know it. Inside that ship, Dick can see the branches of the time stream, an infinite number of universes, an infinite number of Dick Rogers having their infinite adventures. He is gone only a moment before returning to time. He finds himself beyond the hull of the N.E.R.D ship, but it was still not where he wanted to be. He punched forward, slipping out of the time stream and back in, again and again, as many times as needed until he exploded into a vast void of white energy. He was inside the primary power source of the N.E.R.D, not just the ship, but the source of all N.E.R.D power within the universe. It was here he was greeted by the voice, one that came from everywhere and nowhere.
Why do you struggle against your own fate?
Where I'm from, people always said fate is what you make of it. Would you really want to freeze the universe just to preserve everything and nothing?
We have seen all that is and all that will be. We have seen the beginning and the end. We are seeing it now. We have seen all suffering and joy. Believe us when we say we are sparing you this tragedy.
Yeah, well, that's not for you to decide.
Then allow us to send you home, Dick Rogers.
What?
You do not belong here in this time. We can reinsert you into your timeline. You will have never left. You can live the life you want. By the time we begin our conquest of time, you will have died thousands of years ago.
This offer weighs heavily on Dick's mind. He thinks of the people he left behind, his friends, his family, his future. But then he thinks of the people he's met here, in this future.
I'm not just gonna abandon everyone in this timeline for my own. That's not what heroes do.
Then you will perish with the rest of them.
Outside of the N.E.R.D ship, Nilda and her squad were desperately fighting off the N.E.R.D counterattack, waiting to see if Dick Rogers would succeed or fail.
If the dude got in, he's gonna have to hurry up. It totally morbs out here. We can't hold him off forever.
He's the only chance we got. We stay until he comes back. If he doesn't make it, we're all doomed anyway.
Blaze of Glory protocol initiated.
Kiddos us a milkshake if he gets out of this. Whatever that is.
What was that?
Energy failure from N.E.R.D ship. Vacate premises. Implosion pending.
Anyone have eyes on Dick?
Negatory, boss lady. But it sounds like he did something in there. We gotta go.
The three pilots sped away from the N.E.R.D ship as quickly as their engines would take them. The gargantuan flagship exploded in massive bursts of energy before suddenly stopping, the explosion frozen in time, before slowly reversing. As if being rewound, the debris and energy were sucked back into a single point, a miniature black hole absorbing anything in its range, before collapsing in on itself as quickly as it appeared.
Dick Rogers? Are you out there? Please respond.
Hey, can someone give me a lift? I think my ship's primary power is out.
Good to see you made it, kid.
You totally owe us milkshakes, my dude.
Executing cheer protocol. Protocol executed.
We can give you a tow back, but how did you get out?
When the ship was blowing up, I had one more slip left in the ship. I used it to escape the implosion.
Dude, couldn't you have used it to go home?
Wasn't enough juice. I could only get a few minutes forward or back at best.
The trio pulled Dick's ship back to their own, relieved that the battle was finally over. After being healed of his injuries, Dick was transported to the GIF headquarters, where a ceremony was held.
And it is with great honor that I bestow these medals of victory to the squadron responsible for defeating the Cronids and saving the universe as we know it. Nilda Ungaretti, Coffee Riva, designation D-41D6, and Dick Rogers. The entire universe owes you four a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid.
So, what next, Dick?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that, and I think the title of Space Detective sounds pretty appealing.
Really now? You got big shoes to fill.
Well, I think if I had a good team behind me, the four of us could fill them out together.
Oh, dude, totally in.
Agreement. This unit will rust if idle too long.
It sounds like you've got your team then.
Oh, we should celebrate. Dude still owes us milkshakes.
What is a milkshake anyway?
Okay, so have you ever heard of something called a cow?
No.
Negative.
Okay, this is gonna be harder than I thought.
And Dick's first adventure has come to an end, but there are so many more to come. Tune in next week for the continuing adventures of Dick Rogers, Space Detective.
What could have been. Of course, we here are a bit biased, but that sounds like it could have been a stellar TV series.
Okay, my question is, how come they had nachos in the future but didn't know what a milkshake is?
Well, I think it was a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when Arthur Dent is desperate for a good cup of tea and just can't get one, no matter what he does.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, he eventually gets a job making sandwiches.
The bidding just ended. Who won?
None of us. Somebody named Scary Jim sniped us at the last second.
Dang it! That was my chance for riches!
It's probably for the best. That bidding was up to $10,000, and I don't think the three of us combined could have scraped up that much money together.
I mean, I could have taken out a few loans. I know a guy.
Yeah, we all know that's a bad idea.
I know, but I was this close.
I think we should wrap things up here. Mike, hit him with the socials.
We're on Facebook at Dick Rogers Pod, on Instagram at Dick Rogers Space Detective, and Twitter at Rogers Space. And you can join the nerds on Patreon at patreon.com/space_detective.
And make sure to tune in to your next Dick appointment. Same space time, same space channel.
It's not as funny when you lean into it.
But it's the brand now.
Good night, everybody.
This episode's nerds are Wendy Willward as Joanna, Coffee, Gray Sacks, and Kid 2. Angela Ventris as Eleanor, narrator, Dee Dee, and parent. Michael Storm as Mike Nutley, Dick Rogers, and Jack Jacobson. Logan Wright as Symphony, Ship AI, and Cronid Prime. And Nicholas Johnson as Captain Galactic, Nilda, Kid 1, and Trailer Voice. Dick Rogers' Origin was written by Logan Wright. Music by Nicholas Johnson. Sound design by Michael Storm, and audio editing by Nicholas Johnson.